Hey guys, how you doing? This is Juan with Liberty Graphic Designs. I'm gonna make a really quick video on sublimation, so don't go anywhere. Okay, so I always say I'm gonna make a quick video, right? And it ends up being like 20 minutes. But I'm gonna try to keep it very short. And like you guys know, on my videos, sometimes I put a lot of information. This is not gonna be one of those videos. So, okay, so one of the things about sublimation, it has to be 100% polyester, though you can use some blends, like for example 65-35, right? And you'll get like a vintage kind of look. But a lot of, whenever we do sublimation, we always stick to white. Well, I'm gonna be sublimating this fluorescent orange, and then we're gonna be doing some other colors. Obviously this is not white, right? But there's colors that we can use on this one, like for example black, blues, reds, you know, stuff like that. Colors, dark colors like that can be sublimated on this type of shirts. So let me show you first how to do your like regular vinyl, right, on 100% polyester, and then we'll go from regular vinyl HTV to sublimation. Okay, so I have a sheet right here, and this is sublimation paper. As you can see, it's pretty big. I just printed this. It's 24 by 24 using the Epson F570. So I'm gonna cut my artwork. Okay, so the first one we're gonna make is gonna be this fluorescent orange a jersey or shirt, and this is gonna be actually all this. I'm gonna make like 3 different shirts. I think it's 3 different shirts. A lot of these are for a friend of mine, not for the same friend, right? But they're all very good friends of mine. So this is gonna be a, like say for example, a construction company. This is all we need. We don't need a bag. I'm sorry, we don't need a pillow. Okay, so this is all we need. You don't need a pillow for this because you're not going over any seams. A lot of people will put the color on this side so you don't print it. That's a really good idea. Me, I don't care. So I'm gonna press this for 1 minute 60 seconds, and I have other settings in here. Everybody prints with different settings. I have my settings. I have everything dialed in the way that I want it. Again, everybody prints, like for example, they'll say 400 for 60 seconds, or you know, 425 for X amount of seconds. Me, I got my own settings, and I'm gonna keep those to myself. So there you go. That's the front, and look at that. That one's done. And this is what it looks like. Dang it, it's hot. That's what it looks like. It's nice and dark. I mean, it's really, really black. So again, those are settings that I've already been playing with. And I printed this on an Epson F570. So now we're gonna do the back. And the back is same thing. And you guys are gonna ask yourselves, Juan, you don't use a T-square? No, I don't use a T-square. There you go. That's the back. And you see how dark it looks? I mean, dang it, it's hot. It's like really hot. But look at how dark that is. I mean, that's like a true black. I mean, that thing is, it's really, really black. It's amazing, right? It looks really, really good. Well, you're gonna be like, well, it's a bright color. Yeah, it is. Look at that. It looks really, really good. So on this t-shirts right here, there's no need to make a screen print it. None whatsoever. You can use sublimation. Now let's move over to something a little more challenging. Black. It's a black t-shirt. And let me show you against this black t-shirt. This is 100% polyester. I'm gonna show you against the t-shirt so you can see how dark my black is. You see that? You see how dark I am on the sublimation? Yep, it looks really good. Okay, so now on this one, 100% poly. no, I'm not going to use sublimation. So for something like this, if you guys have any polyester shirts like this, you know you cannot sublimate black. So for that, we are going to use regular vinyl. You're probably going to be asking, why are you using vinyl? You can screen print it. Well, the reason why is because this is just one shirt. That's the reason why I'm using vinyl. So all I got to do on this one, change my settings, because I don't want to heat press it for 1 minute. So that's it. Peel it hot, and then I just give it about 3 seconds without the what do you call it, the carrier. I'm not gonna touch it because it's like super hot. So there you go. And by doing that 5 seconds, it really pushes the what do you call it, the vinyl back into the fabric. And notice how my shirts, I'm not burning my shirts. You see that? Sometimes when we sublimate, you can see the part where you actually burn the shirt. Okay, so now we're gonna move into yet another shirt, and the next one is gonna be this charcoal gray. So charcoal gray, let's see what happens with the sublimation. And the reason why I'm doing this video, guys, is so you guys can get an idea on how dark you can get sublimation to work. So we're gonna take our sublimation on a dark gray shirt. So a lot of you is going to say, it's not going to work, because sublimation is supposed to work only on white t-shirts or light colors. Let me change my settings. Okay, so let's see if our dark garment worked. Look at that. You see that? So a lot of people will say sublimation, dang it, that's hot. It's like really hot. A lot of people will tell you sublimation only works on white t-shirts. No, it does not. Depending on your settings and how good your printer is, this is how good you can make it look. So let's throw a logo in the front just to kind of finish that shirt. And then after I do this logo, I'm going to show you something real quick. Also notice when I lower my press, I went real slow. When you're doing sublimation, you want to go real slow. If you didn't apply adhesive or put a heat tape on it, you want to lower your press real slow, because if you bring it down too fast, the wind that you create by pushing it down can move the artwork. And that's the front of the shirt. And you can see it's nice and dark. It's really hot too. See that? So this is a very dark shirt, and yet you can still make it work. Okay, so the next shirt we're gonna make is gonna be this gray one, and the color on this one is actually silver. That's the color on this one, silver. And on this one we're gonna do a number. We're gonna do a number on this one. This is a jersey for like a soccer team. Okay, so set for the number. And on this numbers, this is really cool, because on the number I even did the logo of the team. So that's what it would look like on a gray shirt, and it actually looks really good. Okay, so but one thing I wanted to show you, and I'm going to show you on this red one, is this one's right here. They get a logo on the sleeve. So a couple of things you got to do on the sleeve. If you're going to do a logo on the sleeve, do it where the sleeve is actually folded just like that, like it is, and then put it right there, or whatever is going to go, right? In this case, it has to be right in the center of the sleeve. Well, if we do that, so usually stick your hand inside so you can get it right in the center, and then you follow the crease, right? See that crease? Okay, so when you're working with something like that that has seams, I'm actually where I'm placing the print, there's no seam, but the seam is on the other side. So what you want to do is you use a piece of foam. Any foam will do. Just make sure that you put a piece of Teflon Teflon sheet on top of it. So it will be something like this. So you will put your shirt like that, right? And see right now the crease, or the seam, I'm sorry, the seam is right here. And there's a crease. So that's the center of the shirt. Now, if you put a piece of foam in there, this right here will sink into the foam, and you can go ahead and sublimate it, and you won't have a problem. But if you sublimate it directly on the plan, there's not going to be any room for that, for the sewn part to go anywhere, and you're going to ruin the shirt. It's not going to sublimate. It's not going to sublimate properly. The best way to do that is if you get a pillow. But if you don't have a pillow, and this is one of those heat press pillows, so if you don't have a pillow, you can go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's, or whatever where they sell foam, and you can buy a piece of foam. That will be the cheapest way. However, if you're gonna go this route, I suggest you put a piece of a Teflon sheet, parchment paper, any type of paper to protect the foam from getting sublimation into the foam. It doesn't matter if you get sublimation on the foam, right? You can throw it away. But if you get sublimation on the foam, or any type of ink on the foam, it's gonna transfer over to the next garment. So this is what it's gonna look like. Okay, so if you use a foam, make sure that you adjust your pressure, because now you added a foam. This thing is not gonna close. See, it just won't close. So adjust your pressure, try it, and then go from there. I already lost my little crease. Make sure you don't put it upside down. And now we can sublimate the sleeve. There you go. Sublimate it using a regular piece of foam. And you're gonna probably ask yourself, or you're gonna probably say, hey Juan, you said to cover the foam. Yeah, but if you notice, I'm only using that little part right there. So there's no way that the ink can get over there. But just to be on the safe side, make sure you use something to cover that foam. You see, everything is sublimated. Damn, this thing is hot. So look at that. I mean, you can actually tell where the sewn part was, or the seam. You can see where the seam was right there. I can actually see it. But if you notice, everything's sublimated correctly. So by using a piece of foam, you can get away from, you know, from these seams right here, just by using a little cheap piece of foam. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, when you're doing multiple shirts, this is on sublimation, okay? So as you can see, I went and got another shirt. But one thing is very important that you do is make sure you put a protective piece of paper. Like on the other ones, you didn't see me using that, but I'm gonna show you real quick, because sometimes when you're doing the sublimation, this is sublimation paper, right? Sublimation will actually bleed through depending on what kind of settings you're using on your paper and what kind of paper you're using. So it'll bleed through the paper and actually stain the what do you call this? The Teflon sheet. And then when you go to apply, or when you go to sublimate another shirt or garment, whatever it is you're using, or sublimating masks, t-shirts, whatever you're sublimating, that image is going to be imprinted on your Teflon sheet, and you can actually stain the other shirt or whatever it is you're using. So I'm going to show you real quick what I mean by that, because I didn't explain that on the video. I was about to edit the video and I was like, let me fix this real quick. So let me show you real quick what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, so we're gonna do this shirt, right? And say, for example, on this one, we're gonna do the number. This one's gonna be number 4. So I've been doing this for a while. If you guys don't feel comfortable just placing the number or whatever it is that you're gonna sublimate like that, use a ruler so you're straight. I've been doing this for a while, so well, I don't use that anymore. But this is what I'm talking about. Grab a piece of butcher paper, even regular paper will work. Let me fix this right so it doesn't slide on me. this is why I say I'm in the market for another heat press, because I like to thread my shirts, and this one I can't thread them. So if I was to thread it, see, you know, I'll be stretching the shirt because it's already hidden at the bottom. So that's what it means by threading a shirt, is where you can put it inside the machine. So that's why I'm in the market for another heat press. So okay, so going back in this, right? So several ways of finding your center. You know, you can fold it in half. Just make sure that you're edge to edge. But in this case, we're just gonna put it about right there. And on the position on the numbers, you want to leave enough space just in case if they want to come back and say, can you add a name? So if you put your numbers up too high, you're not going to be able to add a name in the top. You're going to have to do it at the bottom. So I usually place my numbers about 6 inches from the collar down. That's where it's going to go. So, and then this is what I was saying. Put a piece of parchment paper, a piece of butcher paper, even regular paper. However, this paper that you're going to put in here has to go in the trash after you use it. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so now this is what I'm talking about. I know you're probably not going to be able to see it on camera. Maybe you can, but there's a very, let me get this out of here. So there's a number, right? Number 4. And what I was telling you about, it'll bleed through the number or through the paper, depending on your settings. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a very faint image in there of the number. Well, if you don't protect your heat press, that will bleed through, and you're gonna put an image on your heat press or your Teflon sheet. And then when you go to press the other one, you're gonna have, like, for example, not all the shirts are gonna be number 4, but let's say for example we'll go to number 5. You're gonna have the number 5, and you're gonna still see the number 4 in there. Trust me, right here you can hardly see it, but when you press a shirt, and watch, I'm gonna show you just so you can see it. Let me see if I can put a print. I have this material here. This is what we use for some of the mask. This is white, so we're gonna try to see if we can get that number to sublimate. Because you're gonna be able to see it on the white print better than you can on this piece of paper. So this is just replicating. Like, say for example you put another shirt in there, like for example the number 5 or number 3, whatever, you know. Okay, and after you use this paper, make sure you throw it away. This is pretty cool. It actually cleaned the ink that was in this paper. It actually took it, I mean, it completely cleaned the ink. That's pretty cool. Yeah, because I can't even see anything anymore. But if we look at our print, again, it's very light, but it's right there. Again, I don't know how good you can see that on the video, but it's right there. I can see the number 4 right there. It's going right there, over here. Again, you can hardly see it, but if you're doing multiple shirts, that's gonna get brighter and brighter and brighter, and then you're gonna ruin a shirt. Okay, so again, I forgot to show you this. I forgot to tell you about putting a piece of a lot of people use butcher paper. Perfectly fine, whatever paper you want to use. If butcher paper is too expensive, you can just buy a rim. That's what you call it, right? A rim of paper, regular printer paper, and then just put it on top to protect the heat press or the Teflon sheet that you're gonna put in there. That way, if you transfer anything onto the not only the shirt but to whatever you're protecting, you can throw this away. And make sure you can only use this once. So use it once and throw it away. Get rid of it. Don't use it again, because you'll see how it actually. And this one you can hardly see it. See, this one I can't even see it. But even though you cannot see it, trust me, you want to get rid of it just in case if there is residue of adhesive in there. I'm sorry, not adhesive, of sublimation ink in there. Again, depending on what your settings are. And what I mean by settings is how much ink you actually deposit on the sublimation paper. I like to do a little extra myself because you get better prints that way. So yeah, make sure you use some sort of paper so you protect your heat press. So I forgot to put that on the regular video. That's why I came back. I didn't finish editing the video, so I came back and redid this one so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, now also on the other video I didn't show you how I was doing the sponsor and everything, so let me show you real quick. So it's really easy for you to mess it up once you line up everything. So for example, that's where it's gonna go. When you lower this, if you lower it too fast, did you see that, how that one moved? So that's what I'm saying, be careful. You can add adhesive, just regular adhesive. You don't have to go buy that expensive pro spray that you can buy of, I don't know, I can't even remember, the Johnson Plastics I think sells some, and a lot of people sell those pro sprays. This is regular spray adhesive that we use for screen printing. You can use this, just spray a little bit, so just enough so it'll stick wherever you want it to be at. Now even if I move the shirt, that's not gonna move. Well, if you flip it over, it will, right? But that has enough adhesive for the graphics to stay on, and it won't mess it up. Trust me, the adhesive will not transfer. It won't stay on the shirt, and it's just a little bit. I mean, I just sprayed a little bit. So yeah, you want to apply just a little bit of adhesive so the what do you call it, the print doesn't move. And then don't forget to put your paper on it, because remember, the reason why we put in the paper is so it doesn't transfer onto the heat press. And that's it. Remember, we grab this piece of paper, and again on this one I don't see any transfer, but even though you don't see anything, get rid of it, because there could be something there that you don't see, because I literally don't see any transfer on there. But we're gonna throw it away. And as you can see, if you add adhesive to it, the adhesive completely leaves the, I mean, you won't have any residue, and you don't have to use none of that pro spray that they sell. And that's it. Now let me move that shirt. Okay, now if you do happen to transfer some ink into the Teflon sheet, either the bottom or the top one, keep one of these bottles handy. This is just a degreaser, and what I do is I take one of my whole shirts, and as you can see, it's all orange, so spray a little bit in there, just like that. This is just in case if you did transfer some, and clean it, and just clean your plan, and you'll be ready to go. The what do you call it, the degreaser will take any residue that you left in there. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out, because I forgot to let you guys know, or show you that little trick. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys.